Hi, and welcome to Financial Friday. I'm Stacey Sturm, and we're in the studio for Financial Fridays with our new financial partners, Legacy Financial Partners. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Awesome.
Terrific. We're great.
Good. So first off, just go around and just give us your name. We'll go left to right.
Yep. Stacey, my name's Devin Melby.
Sarah Rooney.
Tyler Richter.
I'm Megan Lenars.
And John Lenars.
All right. So you guys work with Legacy Financial Partners here in downtown Bismarck. We're starting a new kind of a podcast show with you guys to find out a little bit more financial awareness, financial fitness. But first off, we want to get to know you guys a little bit better, the people that are handling the money. So let's get to know you guys a little bit better. Tell me 2 fun facts about you and how you became a financial advisor. Go ahead. We'll start with you.
Sure. So my first fun fact is I'm a diehard Lost fan. If you've ever seen the show Lost, it is incredible.
Yeah.
So I've probably watched that 3 times straight. Game of Thrones close second, but the last season kind of killed it for me.
I agree, man. They blew the ending. They rushed it. They should have had another season. It was bad.
Speaking to the choir over here, I agree.
I know.
So second fun fact is kind of a weird fun fact. It's not really fun, but I love to run. And I would say I just started in the last year or two, just creating passion for that because of COVID. There's not a lot to do. So you can probably catch me here in Bismarck running a lot of 5Ks and doing a lot of fun stuff like that. So
Bismarck has some great running trails.
Oh, they got a million of them.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And they keep adding more. It's insane.
That's a good thing, right?
It is a good thing. Agreed. Yep.
If I ever exercise, I'm going to... I'll keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind.
All right, next up, you.
Yeah. So I went to college out in Moorhead, Minnesota State University Moorhead, and I originally started with a degree in elementary education. And so that was my original passion. However, in college, you have to get a job. I got a job at a bank being a teller, and there was a finance department in the same bank, and so started working with them a little bit whenever they needed help. Really loved it, and so I switched my major to finance, and so ever since then I've been in the business for about 15 years. So I definitely have a passion around investing in finance. Couple fun facts. My second passion is lemon drop martinis. I love them. And then when I was in high school, I had a job as a lifeguard, and I actually truly saved 2 kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where were you a lifeguard at?
My small town, Cooperstown, North Dakota.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it was pretty crazy. Didn't have to do CPR or anything. Just had to jump in, grab them.
Drag them to the side.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a little bit about me.
I did not. How did you become a financial advisor? I guess I didn't even ask
Oh,
that.
that's a great question. So, long story. I grew up and born and raised here. My dad actually was a financial advisor for 30 years.
Okay.
Didn't know what I wanted to do out of college. I was an accountant for a while. Did not like that. Had no passion for it. So my dad just said, "Why don't you try giving this a shot?" And got to watch him for 30 years. Really help people. And now that I'm a financial advisor, I get to kind of talk to a lot of clients, and they tell me firsthand how helpful he's been for them and changed their lives, a lot of them. So kind of how I got into business, and glad I took this path actually. So pretty cool to see a lot of clients that my dad has worked with, and now get to keep that going.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I suppose things have changed though since your dad, or are they pretty much the same?
Oh, it's changed a lot. So we've had a footprint here in Bismarck for probably 30 years here. So we've had this Ameriprise office connected to our room for a long time. It hasn't been Legacy that whole time. Legacy really kind of grew in the last 10 years, I would say. And we started probably with this office here in Bismarck, and 10 years ago we were probably 6 offices in North Dakota, and now today we're about 27, 28 offices all over the Midwest.
That's
so
awesome.
We've grown a lot, and it's selling stuff to keep up with here in Bismarck. It's just like, oh, we had another office here, had another office there. So I think that's just being great, giving great service to clients. I think that's just a product of that. So it's been a fun ride actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, fun facts, and how did you become an advisor?
Yeah, so how I became an advisor is, I think I'm a pretty analytical person. I really like diving into math. So that kind of started it. And then, really seeing the financial markets, it really just got me very curious into it. And, so I jumped into it, and I started out as an engineering student out in St. Thomas, St. Paul, and I was playing hockey, and it was a little tough. So then I, with that curiosity, I shifted over to finance, and from there it just, kept going forward. And then I came back, and I started for Morgan Stanley, and then moved over here about a year and a half ago. So, and
Hockey, finance.
yeah,
That sounds super close.
yeah, exactly. Right. So, yeah, no, I absolutely love it, and it's you can always learn, and there's always new things thrown at you. So just kind of keeping you on your toes and being able to help other people. So, and 2 fun facts about me: I love hockey, so that's kind of that was my first passion. Kind of like Sarah talked about. Now this is my new passion. I'm a high school hockey coach in town, so I've been doing that for 5 years now.
Oh, where do you coach at?
At BHS.
Okay.
Yep. So that, and my other fun fact, I lived in Australia for 6 months, so I can't wait to go back there.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. Okay, you're next.
All right. Megan Lenores again. The 2 fun facts, I guess. I walked into my freshman year of college as I would say a mediocre athlete, and joined a Learn to Row class at the University of Minnesota in Minneapolis, and from that humble beginning became a D1 student athlete with the U of M, and got a Big Ten ring out of my 4 years there and a couple medals. So that was that's one of my little hidden gems. And love to play outside and hike, and however I can spend time outside is kind of my go-to. But why I'm a financial advisor, I guess I go back to this moment when I was a kid, and laying in bed one day asking my mom if we were broke, if we were poor, and she was very kind, answered very honestly that, we're rich in love and all this stuff. And then right about that time, my dad became a financial advisor, and he's actually standing here beside me. But that moment, and from then and the 20 plus years that brought us here, I've seen what amazing things this job can do, not just for the advisor, but the clients they serve. And so that's where I wake up every day and say, you know what, that's what I want to do.
Awesome. You are an odd child. Who has their parents? Are we okay money-wise? How's it going? Do I need to get a job?
Yeah, well.
They're like, Megan, you're 6. You need to settle down a little bit.
Ask your dad.
That was pre-advisor days.
Okay, you're up next, John. And you're up next with John.
Okay, I'm Megan's dad. I'm John Lenars, and a couple of fun facts about me. We've been in Bismarck here about 7 years, but I grew up in central Minnesota, and I'm number 6 out of 10 kids in my family, and I grew up on a dairy farm. That's what I wanted to do my entire life, and or up to that point, what I thought was life. And anyway, related to that and the career that we're doing today is I remember having a meeting with my high school counselor, like, what do you want to do for a living? And I'm like, okay, well, I want to farm, so this meeting's over, so I'm going to go. And he goes, well, no, really, what do you want to do? And I said, well, let's be clear. And this was kind of one of my first times of being just blunt about something. I said, I never want to work in an office. I never want to sell anybody anything. And I never want to wear a tie. How's that?
Yeah. It was the never.
And I can
never
remember
ever.
that conversation as clear as a bell.
Yeah.
Because I was literally then he's like, okay, fine, leave.
Have fun. Go for
And
it.
20 years later, here I am. So
Working in an office.
wearing a tie.
Wearing a tie.
Selling, not so much anymore. But,
Selling financial services. Yeah.
And but the really satisfying part of it is, I got into it as a career change, and just wanted to provide a better life for our family because
Megan thought you were poor.
Yeah, she was spot on. She was very intuitive, and it's one of her finest traits is she can read body language and those things. And and I got into the business to make a better living for me and my family. But what really changed it for me is I got to know people, and all of us are blessed we are in a position to get to know every walk of life, every thing about our clients they would never tell anybody else. Sometimes not even spouses. Things about themselves, things about their lives, how they got there, why they do what they do. And I found myself learning as much about a client as they probably have ever told anybody, and which is a really unique position to be in. It's actually kind of humbling because they share everything. And we are trusted with that info. We cannot break that trust, and they're asking us for our help to make sure that they can succeed. So, and that's actually a big burden on our shoulders, but it's fun to really provide that service and advice.
Oh yeah, it's got to make you feel good because you're ensuring financial stability and a good financial future for other people too.
And we're always like, a good analogy is there's the story of when the disciples are out in the Sea of Galilee and there's this big storm coming up and Jesus walks out to them across the waves and he's providing just that security blanket. Everything's going to be okay. Yeah. That's what we do. So when the storm hits, that's what we're there for. So it's a...
Well, this last year must have been fun for all you guys.
Well, exactly. And that's exactly what I was
Some good creativity going on with that storm.
And the funny thing is, by and large, it's not always the storm that happens in the markets. It's the storm in the people's lives.
And to Devin's point about the longevity here of not just the Ameriprise office, but of Legacy Financial Partners as a team, it's, we are here in your community with you, for you, when that crap happens, both to your community and you.
So I feel like that brings us to the next question. That's a nice transition. What makes you guys different from other firms? Is that one of the things that makes you guys different from other firms?
Yeah, I totally think so. A lot of financial advisors, how they work today, a lot of them are just a financial advisor and then one staff member. And, that used to be, kind of really how Legacy came about is that's how we were in the past. And a lot of the older guys back in the day got together and said, how can we be different? How can we change that? And so really what came about is they got together and they formed Legacy Financial Partners. So, instead of having one advisor, one staff, now we can have a team of advisors and a team of staff. So it's different, whereas if you're a client, you still have the relationship with one person. But, if something happens to that advisor, if they're sick, if they can't work, then you still have a staff of advisors and people to help. Whereas, that one office, might not. So, I think having a team is very beneficial in that aspect. And, analogy I like to use is, I love to golf, but I'm a terrible golfer. So if I go golf, I will be a bogey golfer. But, every year I'll do a scramble and you have a team of 4 people and you take the best ball. And it's amazing how much better your score is as a team. And that's kind of how I think about it as a team here is we have, if I don't know something, I go to John and say, hey, John, what is your advice? What do you think about this if you have a specialty in this area? So same with Sarah, same with Tyler, same with Megan, that we all have, financial planning is a broad, topic. I mean, there's so much different areas to it, and we all have a pretty broad-based knowledge to it. But we all have specialties as well, so we're able to use those a little more.
So a lot of extra resources.
A lot of extra resources, exactly, yep.
Well, and we are in the communities that we serve, and we're a part of the community. Our families are here, our lives are here. And so we understand what clients are living with and going through. And I think what people sometimes forget is that we are people too. And we understand, we have a specialty, investment, financial management and planning and so on. But in the end, we're all humans and we all live in this community. And I think that is one of the unique things about Legacy Financial Partners that I found is I've been in the industry for 20 years and the last several years at Legacy. In the area that I came from was full with what I would call prima donna people. And I haven't found a single prima donna at Legacy or Ameriprise. And that's the most eye-opening thing to me. So that is a different quality. And I think that is something that we can bring to our clients and our communities.
So speaking of clients, what is your ideal client to work with?
Well, at Legacy, you know, we're all looking for different niche clients, and of course, you know, the pat answer would be, well, I want $1 million client for a client who's 60 years old. All right, so who doesn't? But in my perspective, the ideal client is somebody who will be open and honest with you, who has the ability to invest their money and to do a financial plan, and who will listen to you, who will listen to the advice, who will follow the advice, and who will share when something happens in their life, or share when they're something that they think we're not doing well enough for them, or something that, you know, that, so we have this one-on-one relationship. So the ideal client is somebody who does listen and who has an open and honest relationship with the advisor.
And I think to sum that up too is just everyday people, you know,
Correct.
teachers, nurses, you know, everyday people that we know. To John's point here is, you know, we are in the community. We go to churches, we go to, you know, Dan's down the street. So, you know, we're in the community, and I just love working with everyday people that I see, people that I know, you know, those kind of people.
Go ahead. I was thinking too, like, you know, we've come across so many clients that really don't have much experience, and they don't have a clue on how to start investing. And so I feel like we can provide value to anybody and everybody. And so I think that there really isn't an ideal client. I think that we can really provide value to everybody, no matter where they're at.
But I think as we look across our skill sets, you know, I very comfortable with a lot of female professionals, athletics. You have worked with a lot of energy folks. You've worked with a lot of different financial firms and different utilities and different we have experience with a bunch of different employers in town. We carry a bunch of different designations. So a couple of us are certified financial planners, behavioral financial planners, divorce analysts. We have,
I gotta use that again. Tell you that. Where the hell were you guys?
Yeah, so you know, we're looking to serve a ton of people, but we do have a lot of specialized knowledge, and we're happy to fit you with someone that can really provide some insight for your situation.
Awesome. Okay, so if somebody is interested in, you know, possibly meeting with you guys, how can they get a hold of you?
Number one is, so we're located at 505 East Main, connected to the Elver Room. Everyone seems to connect with that the most, actually. So we're actually about 2 blocks away from here. You can connect with us at planwithlfp.com as well. You know, we can post all of our names as well if you guys, you know, want to reach out to one of us. But we're always open to, you know, talk to you guys and have a conversation. So.
Office number 701-258-9735 finds any one of us. So we're all at the same number.
Awesome. Well, welcome to Financial Friday. You guys did a good job today.
Well, thanks.
Yay.
Yeah, we're excited about this.
Yeah.
There's one nice thing about Legacy is we're finding ways to reach out to clients and prospective clients in the community in different ways, and this is a rather unique way, and we're excited about being able to work with you.
Well, and I'm excited to get some really good financial information out there. A lot of people don't know a lot of things. So
Frankly, it can be overwhelming to
Yeah.
a lot of people, and
Even us sometimes.
yeah, sometimes all the time. But it's exciting to work with clients in all market conditions and all walks of life, all stages of life. You know, whether they're just getting started, whether they're in the middle of their career, whether they're nearing retirement, in retirement, ready to pass things to other family members. You know, all that stuff. It's we're in a unique position to serve all of those.
Awesome. Well, welcome our team of financial gurus, Legacy Financial Partners. And we will start our regular shows then next Friday. So we're really excited to hear what you guys are going to be bringing to the air.
Thank you so much, Stacy.
And you can reach Legacy Financial Partners at 701-258-9735. That's 701-258-9735. And go right online since you're there already. planwithlfp.com. That's planwithlfp.com. You're listening to Financial Fridays on urlradio.net.